talking about that.
All right. What's up, guys? This is Talking About That. This is our weekly podcast. Today we've got Natalie from Three Eyed Art Collective. We got Tyler from Sluts and AKs, and we got Danny Moon as our special guest today. He's gonna tell us about himself. He actually has some cool little interesting stories for his little back and forth moving around. But I'm gonna give him the stage and let him tell us a little bit about himself and what he likes to do.
What's up, guys? My name's Danny Moon, and I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida. And pretty much my whole life, I kind of knew I was going to do something art related. I remember the exact day I fell in love with tattoos. I was probably like 9. I was pumping my mom's gas, and this biker dude walked into the gas station. I was just like staring at his tattoos, and I was like, what the fuck? And then it kind of like evolved to, by the time I was in high school, I would draw a lot with like graphite and kind of just blend it and shit. And so I actually started off with black and gray, I guess. For a long time, my art was like that. And like by high school, I was already winning like our county art festivals and shit. Like the first time I wasn't even there. My art teacher saw what I was working on, and I didn't think it was that good. I still don't, but I don't know. I guess the competition didn't bring the heat that time, because I was like, I remember I was playing zombies and I got a text from my teacher, and she was like, "You won first place for black and gray portrait," and I didn't even show up.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I did that 2 years in a row. And then I graduated early when I was like 16.
Oh, damn.
And I literally only graduated to like pretty much stop hearing shit from my family, because I was like the black sheep. Like, for somehow I would figure out a way to just like fuck everything up. And
I feel that.
She wanted me to like go to like nursing school and shit like that, and Florida Hospital was offering, since I was like a male in 2015, the rate of like gender or whatever, they were willing to pay like 86% of my schooling and all that shit.
Oh, wow.
And I just couldn't do it, bro, because like ever since I was a little kid, I knew kind of, it was like a weird, like ominous presence. Like I knew my home was going to be tattooing. I just didn't really know how, or what was going to happen, or who I was going to meet. But I always had this feeling of just like all the time I spent on paper wasn't going to be wasted.
Yeah.
And it took years. Like I started tattooing when I was 21. So from 16 to 21, I just like, I hitchhiked. I did that.
Damn.
Fucking that was
How was that?
Freeing, but also like devastating at the same time. Like, I graduated at 16. I tried doing this nursing thing, didn't work out, I dropped out. So my grandma like kicked me out. Typical fucking like emo kid fucking like sob story. But I don't know. I think something snapped in my head. I mean, I've always been a little crazy.
Aren't we all?
I didn't tell like any of my friends or other relatives that she kicked me out. I just like started hitchhiking, and that turned into like a year-long thing. And like my Facebook posts were getting popular because I would leave like journal entries of what I was doing and shit.
That's cool.
And it was weird. Like I met these two guys that were trying to go to Colorado, and a few old dudes had said like, you should go to Boulder, you're young. And I already had a couple tattoos already, so they were like, they'd eat you up. And I met those two guys and was like, fuck it. And we hitchhiked from, I met them at Oregon, and we went to Colorado.
Dang.
So I did all that by the time I became 18. And then I felt like pretty much just like a washed up line cook, and I cooked in restaurants for like 6 years, something like that.
Wow.
And then fucking I learned how to tattoo. But that's a crazy story on its own.
Sounds like it.
Because I ended up staying in Colorado for a few years with this girl. I ended up I was cooking, and at one point I was like selling phones, but then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And when COVID happened, she left me for a coworker.
Oh damn.
But that's probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because that was like the moment where I felt like I got to utilize these strengths that I built when I was hitchhiking, and after that, kind of just felt like life was just boring. Like it went from like train hopping, not knowing what we were gonna do that night, to like when we all had food in our bellies and we had some beer and the sunset was going down. That's when it's like feels nice to travel, because it's like you're free.
Yeah.
Like no one knows where the fuck you are. You don't really care. Like it was weird. And then all of a sudden, from that to like being just like a regular boyfriend in like an apartment with a cat, going to work, it was
Yeah.
like I couldn't adjust really. And I honestly, even now, I probably never will. I'm just a pirate, man.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but when I had to come back to Florida after all that, 'cause she left me and shit, I was like 20, I want to say, and I would go drink to this bar all the time. The manager knew who ended up being my mentor, and he hooked me up with him. And this dude is in the Czech Republic, right? Because he's dating this chick that is immigrant. So they were spending 3 months here, 3 months back, and at this time he wanted to spend 3 months in the Czech Republic, but he needed someone to like run his like little private studio.
Yeah.
And at this point, I was already tattooing like out of the house. Like I was one of those guys where I tried to do it the right way,
Right.
but because of COVID, it was like a different world. Like learning or how to tattoo or getting your apprenticeship during COVID is probably like really different than the apprentices right now. It was like there were shops that were like boarded up, like the owner was tattooing in there, but they weren't even open, or like
Yeah.
people just didn't want to look at me. The people that actually wanted to teach were like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be doing this longer. You know what I mean? So I ended
Yeah.
up just tattooing all the like hood dudes in my hood and shit.
Oh yeah.
And it was hard, man. I kept his shop open with like no clientele, no tattooing experience, really nothing, for like 2.5 months, and I
Damn.
got my apprenticeship that way. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
so it's pretty crazy,
Yeah.
pretty fucking wild, man.
That's one way to get your foot in the door. I mean, shoot, it's better than paying for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I knew what it was like the other way around. Like if I had money and like I knew like if I had support, because now it's like people come out and like they tackle tattooing like any other degree or anything else, and they're out the gate swinging, like, you know
Yeah,
what I
some of these
mean?
cats are a year, 2 years in, and they're just
They're doing like
phenomenal.
they're doing like portraits and shit, and they're still an apprentice, and it's like, damn, they planned it out, but it's all
Yeah.
right. There was no room for me to really plan fucking anything, so I'm honestly surprised that I do this for a living. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, and I think it gives more of a respect for the art form and the culture, when you kind of fight for it in that sense, or it really meant a lot more to you than just, oh, I like tattoos, or that's an art form and that's cool. Like this is a heart connection for you, and you've earned that. You know, you can't pay for that. There's no amount of money
Yeah,
that'll give you that feeling. Um,
definitely. And I
yeah, and
want to
that's
say, like, as a in being in my early 20s, it's like karate, man. It taught me like having a mentor to really like bust my ass and like be held accountable of all the bullshit I was doing. It was like it helped me grow up, honestly, also.
yeah.
Which is weird. I feel like if 90% of the population looked at my mentor, they would not expect that guy to help any boy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But he was a
Well,
nice man.
yeah, that's awesome. Well, sometimes you just need some good guidance, you know. I unfortunately didn't have an apprenticeship. I just willy nilly flung into this, but it took a long time to finally get to where I am. But I 100% understand that if we had a little bit more money, or could pay for that really good apprenticeship, but the morals that you learn and that backing that you have is so much cooler, you know. So that was the first shop you were at, right?
Yeah, I stayed with him for I've only been tattooing for like if I don't count my apprenticeship 2 years.
Yeah.
So I was with him
Oh
for
yeah.
like most of my career so far.
Oh yeah.
And we're still on good terms. He's actually waiting on an investor right now to clean some shit up, and we'll be opening a shop. Right now, I'm just like floating. The shop I the shop I started working at when I moved back ended up being not a good fit.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
freelancing right now.
Yeah. Well, and you were how long were you in Denver for? Or out here in
Um,
Colorado? Because you were out, I mean, probably a couple of months, right?
I want to say like almost a year. I'm just so bad with time. I want to
Was it
say
a
like
year?
nine. I want to say like 8 months, 9 months.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
It is great.
I wanted, I wanted to be there longer. Like, I wanted to really explore the different like culture and people and everything, but I don't know. I had a lot of struggle with like finding a good shop for where I was living. Like I know I tried working at the shop you guys were at, but it ended up being like an hour and a half drive every day there and back. So I was like,
Yeah, that's
ah, that would be rough. And
yeah.
the shops I did know or did have access to, they were just not good, man. Not good. Like I quit the. I told you about the shop that I was representing when I was in Villain Arts. I actually
Yeah.
had quit like 2 days before I flew out there
Yeah, you were
because
telling me that.
yeah, I won't I won't say any names, but yeah, I mean, I don't fuck with like the being creepy to chicks stuff. So I
Yeah.
in the middle of the night I packed up all my shit and dipped. So
Now you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta feel comfortable and make sure your clients feel comfortable.
yeah, honestly, like a lot of people are probably like would think that I don't know anything because of like where I'm at in in my journey. But it's kind of funny to me that I don't know. It feels like tattooing's like any other form or embodiment of knowledge, where it's like it feels like sometimes when I'm looking for certain truths, previous answers will reveal themselves. Like sometimes I'm like trying to do this crazy thing, and I end up realizing like sometimes I gotta just like go back and like hit the basics again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like fucking. It's like
I feel
trying
you.
to prove like God's not real with science, and then realizing atoms react differently when we're not looking at them and shit, and we actually don't know anything about the universe. You know what I mean? It's like fuck.
Right.
I try to figure out this new technique and it ends up breaking rules that I was told, or like,
Yeah.
so
Well, it's
I don't know.
tattooing is an ever growing art form. Like it'll never stop growing. It'll never stop changing. Different needle groupings to I mean like guys now like especially like you guys that are really I've got about 13 years under my belt, and we didn't have round shaders, we didn't have all these fancy different needle groupings and sizes, and we had what we had. I used to go to one little ghetto um tattoo supply store down here, and their needle boxes didn't have a logo. It was a white box, and it just had the
Nope.
size of the needle, and that was it. And of course at that time I was running coils, so I had to buy my tubes as well. And we didn't know where they were coming from. We didn't know what name brand quad. I mean, they were out there, but we weren't willing to spend that money, and we weren't willing to put stuff out. And then nowadays, it's like I need to have my certain needle. I need to have
Yeah,
my round shaders. I need to have my and from certain brands too, because not everybody makes the same liner to the same shader to. I mean, even with inks, I mean, it just gets so in depth that I 100% get what you're saying. It's just there's when you look at one thing of a needle, and then for some reason it clicks in your head, well, wait, shoot, this needle would do really good with color. Wait, well, that makes sense why that color wasn't working for me, because I wasn't using this needle. And then you end up falling down a whole different rabbit hole, yet all you were doing was just trying to find a new needle to use.
yeah,
So I 100% feel that.
yeah. I was just telling my roommates, actually, I did a lot of their, or they let me do a lot of like my first tattoos on them, actually.
Oh yeah.
And we were just talking about how back in the day, man, like talking about myself like Windows or something. It's like, well, Danny, now that would have been like 2 hours, and like it's just like, ah, man, I was heavier handed, took longer, and used wrong needles for things. Because he was talking about getting a neck tat, how bad it would hurt, and I was like, honestly, I found the needle, man. Like trying to explain what basically like, because I
Right.
realized there's like soft hitting needles and hard hitting needles, and I remember this one kid, like the at the first shop. I've been in a total of 5 shops now,
Oh nice.
and at the first shop I went to after my apprenticeship, I was tattooing like a microphone on a kid's neck, and I remember I wanted it to be realism, so I was using a bug pin 3,
Mm.
and the dude was like dying. And I didn't understand. And now I'm like, never, like, don't, or at least I don't trust myself, especially with my machine, to use a bug pin on someone's neck. Now I would use like a softer hitting needle. I would purposely use like an 11 or maybe a round shader to line it, and then now I have more mag control, so I don't have to care if the line's really thin or not. I'll figure it out because of my mag control. And like with the bigger, it's like the bed of nails analogy. I realize
Yeah.
those wider needles, well, yeah, it's sometimes it's harder to get, like you have to move slower to get a bold line. Then I realized, well, it's because it's hitting the skin softer. And like, so that now all of a sudden when I tattoo a neck, the guy's not tapping out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can handle it a little better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and you find that your rhythm, and you'll change your rhythm too. My rhythms changed, gosh, probably 20 different times, and it's even changed in the last year to 2 years. How I do things and how I go about tattooing different skins and other things. But everything's got that level of I had to mess up to find the right thing. And not that anything's a mess up, you never messed anybody's tattoo up, but
That's the scary thing, man. From the
that's the
beginning,
gamble. That's my favorite
tattooing,
part of tattooing.
Tattooing is one of the only things where it's like, okay, you're a beginner, but don't be a beginner. Like,
Yeah.
You're a beginner, but fucking do it right.
Yeah. Don't fuck
Like,
up.
all right, I guess this is probably how like bomb teams feel. Like first day on the job, it's like we got a bomb. This is my first day, but I'm not gonna fuck up.
Right? Yeah. Like, I'm gonna get it right, guys. I promise. Yeah, no, for real. But it's. I love that feeling though. That nerve wracking, like, this is permanent. This is on you, and that used to be my enemy. It used to scare me. I used to not go deep enough, or I had a really, really, really light hand because I couldn't, like, I didn't want to hurt the person. So after getting over that, it's like, it might hurt, but I also found a way to not be crazy and make it, brutal for you.
But speaking of needles and stuff, can I just say I hope this isn't like a bad opinion, but Quadrant's been fucking cock lately.
Oh, I haven't used Quadrant in so long. Yeah.
You don't use Quadrant? You haven't in a while?
I use I'll use Bishops. The heck
The
are
Da Vinci's?
Yeah, the Da Vinci's. I'll use
Those
Da
are
Vinci's.
really good. I use that to replace Quadrant.
Or I use it's a company called Electric Circus. They've got a shop out in Florida in Kissimmee, and
I can drive there.
I pretty much only use their needles. If I use Bishop, yeah, you'll have to go. They've got their tattoo shop and a supply store there. Not. Don't quote me so much on the supply part. I know they sell some supplies, but their main supply hub is here in Colorado Springs. They've got like a whole brick and mortar supply store. So in Florida, you may have to order online, but I'll send you the info when we're done. It's Fallen Heroes.
I'm down because my main problem with Quadrant right now is the bug pin 3s spit a lot. Unless that's something I'm doing wrong.
No, I found that too. The Quadrants, and then there was another one that I used to use. God, I can't remember the name, but it's the needle. Because after I started using Electric Circus, none of theirs really spit. And if I found one that spit, all I had to do was just grab another one, and that sucker, the next one wouldn't. But that's very far and few, and doesn't happen very often.
Couple hours. Yeah. They're gonna go play pool without me.
Nice. I'm not good at pool. I'm too short. I feel like
I'm okay. I feel like I'm better when I'm drunk, but I can't tell that's just because I'm drunk and I think
because you can't touch the bottom.
Huh?
Nothing. It was a stupid joke.
Oh.
I apologize.
Yeah.
That was just
Raw short. That's fucked up.
We're the same height. I can't talk too much on him.
My feet just dangle over the side while I'm trying to like.
And it was a play on like you can't touch the bottom of the pool. It was a dumb joke.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Sure when I first really met you were sitting or something, and then when you walked by my booth, I was sitting. So at first I thought he was like tall, bro. I didn't know.
You don't have to lie to me. It's okay.
No, I didn't. I honestly, because I remember at the very end when you had your shit, was like when I was like standing up right next to you, and I was like,
oh yeah, no, I was probably.
I was like, oh, this guy's shorter than I thought.
He's average size.
I'm little, and all that freaking fun, luggage and everything doesn't help either. It just gravity pulls me down. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a freaking good convention.
That was my first and only convention. I really want to do more, man. I felt like out of every situation I've been in, as a tattoo artist, that's probably been my most natural habitat, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, no one fucking telling me what to do. I don't have to fucking, like, I don't know. It's just fucking awesome, man.
Yeah,
Just
it's a
fucking awesome, dude.
whole different atmosphere. It's not
That's,
like a tattoo shop. It's not like
no.
anywhere
And
else you could be. It's a whole
things you're kind of
shebang.
forced to do, or mindsets that you should have as a convention artist, a lot of shop artists, or it's like doesn't go. You know what I mean? Like that shit wouldn't go. Like I was using a rolling tray for my inks and shit, like just a fucking raw rolling tray.
Yeah,
It was
you
badass.
got it.
And then after the convention, I smoked out of it, but it was fucking cool. And like I don't know, all the different people, that was awesome. Honestly, like yeah, as a 2-year artist, and something that's like really fucking impacted me or made me want to keep doing this was when I went to a convention. So actually, if there's any advice I could give anyone else that I actually find would be valuable, no matter what, would be definitely do a convention. Maybe not like the way I did it, where I flew out there and then a hurricane happened.
Right, yeah, that was so stupid.
Yeah,
There
I
wasn't
was
no
like, what the
hurricane.
fuck? But traveling and like talking to a bunch of different artists and always having an open mind and yeah, like interacting with each and every individual with a smile and being excited, honestly, is probably what makes my tattoos look not like I've only been tattooed for a year or two.
Yeah. Well,
And I had fun
confidence.
doing it. I had fun doing it, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've learned so much just from. Do you remember the Sugoi anime guys? It was like a whole booth of the
Yeah,
best anime,
yeah,
and they were like on in my lane but down.
yeah.
I ended up becoming really good friends with them, and I've learned so much
Yeah.
about color from them. And now I'm like covering stuff up with like color, and
Yeah.
it's just like it's really not even that hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
What? And that's why I think a lot of people who, and I think I even told you this when I had first met you, is if you're going into like conventions just wanting money, you're kind of missing the whole fact of the convention. Like, yes, there's money there. Yes, there's stuff to be made, and that's it costs money to get there, so we need to make money to go back home. But you got to still take advantage of talking to people, getting that knowledge, because that's a melting pot of hundreds of people who do what we do, and they want to talk about it. They want to give information out. They want to pass down what they know of course, in the right way. You don't want to just the guy's in the middle in a deep thought. Don't throw him off, because then he's probably going to be rude to you.
Yeah.
But in that right moment, in that right timing, we've met some of the coolest people. That's how we met. We just started talking randomly,
Yeah.
and it's been a cool little friendship ever since. But all it was just sparking that little conversation, just having that little bit, because there are, and it's I don't want to say too far and few, but not too many guys are jerks. And if they are a jerk, they're usually like rushing, or they're trying to do something. There's another reason why they're being rude.
There's a lot of reasons in a convention that you could potentially come off rude to somebody.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
I know,
sure.
I have. Just
crazy.
trying to get a stencil, just being in that little stencil booth area. I've been jerks sometimes, but it took even after, it's like, dang man, I shouldn't have been that rude. It wasn't all that.
Yeah, I got really lucky. Everyone I interacted with was so nice to me, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
More love I get working in shops, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't think they're gonna do San Diego again, huh?
Are they not?
Yeah, nah. We Villain Arts got banned from San Diego because well, this is the rumor. I haven't not confirmed or anything. But what a little birdie told me is that there was so much vandalism in the San Diego area, and especially on the convention center. So they just were like, we're not doing it again. 2 years in a row, it just was so bad. By the second year, it was like, nah, we're not. But it was one of my
That's so
favorite
weird
conventions.
because I was there till like the last second. I was working on like a big leg tat till the last second. And I packed my stuff, looked around, everything looked pretty clean.
Wasn't
Left.
that bad?
I didn't see no like graffiti on the like front entrance or anything.
Well, and there was a bunch when you go down to like the parking lot. Like you could tell the
Oh, really?
elevator, yeah,
Oh,
the
the
elevators were
elevators
hit
were
up or
destroyed.
destroyed. And like the first day they were clean. But by Sunday, I mean, I think there was stickers over the cameras. There was names written huge on the wall. Like
Yeah,
these
who
guys,
did that?
these guys didn't hold back. I wonder who would
These
do
guys?
I wonder who would do such things.
I had no part of this either.
Me, but at least I was there. The one convention I was at, they fucking banned the location.
Yeah. Well, and 2 years in a row, it was well. For the second annual, it didn't.
I will say,
last
if because they added Orlando, if they keep Orlando, yeah, man, fuck San Diego. That place was just more expensive Florida. I was like, holy fuck, man. $30 for some like half-ass fettuccine.
Well, that's convention pricing. I mean, what you're gonna get everywhere.
Because like the area. I mean, I just kept falling for all the tourist traps. And then I would realize like, oh, this place isn't a tourist trap, and it was still expensive. I was like, oh fuck. But it was all right.
Yeah, San Diego.
Even though I wasn't there, because I remember telling you, I was like, fuck it, man. Worst case scenario, I learn as much as I can. Because I wasn't booked or anything. I was like basically all alone with this chick that was still working at the shop. I quit. And she left after the first day.
Yeah. So, I remember that. She dipped out quick.
Like, all right, man. But I know I ended up making like $1,100 a day.
Yeah, see, that's not. It stayed pretty busy. I think.
Yeah, I didn't even take any of the walk-ups really, because all my designs were big.
Yeah.
And like Friday, I did nothing, but I tattooed like the monster girls. I gave them some Studio Ghibli shit.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, the doors were open for like 20 minutes, and I was booked all Saturday and all Sunday. Just like that.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, all the anxiety went away, and that's when I started smiling and laughing. And my color blending was smooth. I was just having fun, man. It was
cool. Yeah, when you get in your zone, you really feel it, you know? And there's some of those conventions where you go in and there's nothing. You're sitting there with your freaking... You're just on Instagram just all day. Not one person walks by.
On Clash of Clans.
Anime Inc.
Anime Inc. God. Anime
really?
Inc.
Video Game Tattoo Con, not Anime Inc.
Video Game Tattoo Con.
Same thing?
Not
same people, different convention.
Oh.
Same, different.
Yes.
I want to go to all that stuff, man.
They're fun.
Brand a lot. But, I mean, which one did you go to that was, like, dead?
Video Game Tattoo Con.
But, do they travel around like Villain Arts, or it's the same place?
So, it's, it's a set group of people who do put on conventions, kind of like Villain Arts, but they're not all, it's not like Villain Arts Philly or something like that. They have Anime Inc. Con, they have Video Game Tattoo Con, and they have another one. I can't remember exactly what it is. But Video Game Tattoo Con was in Knoxville, Tennessee. And then Anime Inc., I believe, is in Miami.
Okay. I knew there was an Anime Inc. in Miami, but I had no idea it worked that way. I didn't know it was the only one.
I don't know if it's like. I mean, there's definitely
or
different.
like a main?
Yeah, there's definitely different anime tattoo conventions. There's horror tattoo conventions. We will tell you, don't do Spooky Empire in Orlando. Don't waste your time on that shit. That's a horror tattoo convention, and it was a nightmare. Actually, I didn't even work it. I made the guys work it, but
I
and
want
then
to try out Tattoo Alley in MegaCon.
I haven't heard of that one.
I don't know if it's every MegaCon, but in the Orlando one, we have a Tattoo Alley. So like when all the booths are up, you'll be looking at like plushies, and there's like the mind reader.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
There's like posters, but then there's like a whole alley that's like just parallel walls that you can't get to unless you go in from the left or the right, and then you'll just start walking down this alley, and it's just tattoo artists, and they all like would specialize in like, you know, like horror portraits or like usually from like movies and stuff though, like themed horror portraits, or like you got a guy like the crazy Star Wars dude, like that shit's pretty cool. I want to do something like that. My dream, I want to get to the point where I can do color realism.
Yeah,
is my like goal, my end goal. And I'm at a point right now where I feel like I'm decent at black and gray semi. I wouldn't call it realism. I feel like when I look at my tattoos, I could sell them as realism, but like to a client or something, or like after I know how the tattoo's gonna age and fade, and after a few amount of years, it's like, yeah, I guess you could consider it realism. But like, I look at my tattoos and it just seems like it's missing. I guess, I don't know. I would assume tones, maybe.
yeah.
I don't know, but it just feels off. And my coloring is alright. But I feel like eventually if I can fuse the two, once I'm really good at both, then I'll become like a color realism like student. You know what I mean? And then just build that up. But I love those types of tattoos. I don't know, like a Kill Bill with the sword and she's all color.
Yeah.
Or like Darth Vader or something with his lightsaber. You know what I mean?
Yep. Those ones are dope. You know who I always like looking at is Mash Cow. His tattoos are crazy.
Mash Cow?
Yeah, you ever seen his stuff?
Mm-mm.
He does like color realism portraits, but their like eyes are glossy blacked out, and they're like drooling this black ooze.
Oh,
but like he'll do
dope.
like celebrities, and he does like everybody from
that's dope. Like
movies and different stuff. He's crazy with the color realism.
That's sick.
Yeah. Are you pulling it up, Nat?
I'm trying to.
Okay. I saw you moving, so I was like, same idea. Yeah, we'll have Nat's gonna pull it up, and we'll show you some of his work, because he's bad, bro. I've got a buddy out in Colorado Springs that got tattooed by him, and it still looks just as good as when he got it. He got Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York. I don't know if you ever seen that movie. Oh, sorry. It popped up in a different screen, and I didn't see it had come up. But yeah, this is all his stuff.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Mike Tyson. Mac Miller. But like, he adds those crazy twists to him.
That's sick.
Yeah, all color realism, but then adds like another depth to it. But that's why I said, like, every tattoo.
That Joe Rogan.
Where's that? I'm missing it.
Below? Oh, wait, are you looking for... Which one are you looking for?
I was looking for that Joe Rogan.
Oh, right there. You just passed him right there.
Dude.
Yeah.
Someone got a tattoo of Joe Rogan. That's dope.
Drooling all them colors.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
And he's super funny. If you follow his Instagram, he reposts people who like try to copy his work, but like they do it poorly. And he has a really good sense of humor about it.
Yeah, he's funny. His stuff is
Yeah, man. Imagine if I ever woke up and I was tagged by that guy. I'd be like, listen, man, it was walking.
right.
Like, I did my best, brother.
Yeah, the dude is just insane, and he doesn't let you use numbing cream at all. Like,
Doesn't he also like
oh, right there,
There's
Bill
no
the
way it's
Butcher,
one session,
where?
right below. Go down,
It has
then go to the
be, I
left.
guess.
Right there. That's my buddy's tattoo. It's the one that Darren has, Net.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sick, man.
And it looks that clean still. It's on his inner thigh, so it's always weird when he shows me. But
I don't want to see Darren's inner thigh.
You just
no. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
I guess you just did.
But da.
Yeah. Dope. Let me figure out how to get us back. Oh, there we are.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, his stuff is dope. He's crazy. I don't know how he does it, but he'll sit there for like 2 days.
Doesn't he also have a weird Sanoderm thing that he does, or is like he's like pulling it off as he's tattooing?
Yeah, so he'll do all the color first, let it all bleed out and saturate and sit in. So he'll put Sanoderm over it, and then I don't know what happened, right? I just heard I need a cigarette.
Pull is
That's funny.
intense, man.
That's very intense.
That's awesome. But yeah, he'll let the Sanoderm sit over it and let the body start to heal, and then he'll slowly start to pull the Sanoderm off by like layers, and then do the white as he pulls the Sanoderm off. So it's all
That's
fresh. It's already bled out. It's already there's gonna be no color contamination at all. You're gonna get nothing but pure eye, but you're ripping off fresh Sanoderm off a fresh tattoo,
While
and then
getting
tattooing
tattooed.
back into it. Yeah.
Well, how was the heel on your buddy?
He said outside of all of that, he had to put Sanoderm on afterwards again after the tattoo was all over with. And he said it healed fine, but he said it didn't feel good. It wasn't fun at all, but
Probably not.
got it done.
That's
You'll
the
have to-
thing too. I'm struggling with in tattooing is like my artistry wants to do like let's do this, and it's like, can he survive that? It's like, you're right. Let's just hard line it. Fuck it.
I don't know. I put people through it. You're paying me, and you want it to look good.
I don't even pay you.
I wasn't talking about you, but since we're on the note, we need to finish that neck.
Working on it.
Lady.
I
Working
need to
on
start my neck.
it. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I tried laser removing this
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
like 4 times, and it just
What?
got better.
It just got darker.
Yeah, it got like crispier. Like there was like a blown out line, and I got rid of the blowout.
I mean,
Might as well keep it.
right? That's your body's way of saying they like it. that's
I just,
funny.
I can't compete with the Harry Potter fan base, man.
They're wild.
I got it because I was this one. I got it because I was like 15. I wanted it to be like this big behind my ear. The dude didn't speak English. It was in a garage. I was playing with his dog. I didn't realize. And then he was like, "You like?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck me."
Like, oh, that's
So
there. Wow.
now I'm like 25.
You like?
I don't like me.
You like, yeah, you like.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, at least like I had the opposite thing happen. I got a little Bronco tattoo. It's like 1 inch big, and I wanted it really big, but the lady ended up putting that on and already started, and I was like, oh. But I was like 17 at the time. I didn't know how tattoo shops worked.
I was scared. I used to be scared of tattoo artists. Like when I was a kid, I don't know. It was like mega social anxiety.
I'm still afraid of tattoo artists.
I was like, I've only grown more afraid.
Yeah, no, I just have more anxiety from them. They just get worse as you know them more personally.
Yeah.
Like for completely different reasons than you.
Oh,
would think
yeah.
that you're scared of them for.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I have some stories that I can't even share.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's bucked. But I don't know. I feel like for the most part, I'm starting to get to the point where other artists most likely annoy me. But I don't know. I feel like it's the social media thing. Because, like, in real life, everyone's super fucking chill. But through social media, everyone's just fucking, like, attacking each other and shit. So, I don't know. Social media is a hell of a drug.
Oh, yeah, it is. Because I have a weird love-hate relationship with social media. Because, like, I like it. And, like, I would like to be, probably not, but maybe one day I'd like to be, Instagram famous or YouTube famous, because the money is stupid. You get paid for a view. Like, yeah, I want that kind of money. But at the same time, I kind of watch some of these YouTubers that I've like watched for like 8 years or 7 years, and they're like, I'm done, I'm burnt, I can't do this editing anymore, and I can't do this, that, the other. It's like, oh, that sucks. But like you said, they're not showing their real lives either. They're not showing their stresses and their downfalls. It's just all the good and all the arguing and all the battles and beefs. When in reality, they've got real life problems that really do suck, and a lot of times they just can't get it out there. So I don't want to do that. I just want to be famous, get paid, and not be stressed out.
I mean, I like the internet. Like, it's a very powerful tool. And I mean, like, what we're doing right now is pretty badass because of the internet and social media outlets and stuff. Like, I like creating. Like, since me and my brother were little, we would make dumb YouTube videos and stuff and just fuck around. Like, I like that aspect of it, but the aspect of, like, just being in a shop and the regular day-to-day things that involve social media is kind of unfortunate for the people that don't like that stuff, because I realized multiple different artists, like, it sounds ignorant, but like it took me a minute to realize not every tattoo artist is gonna be like me or even similar, and there's people that they don't like the attention, or maybe they don't really understand or like using social media. But for me, I don't mind it, and it still burns me out. But that's why I feel like going into the creation side and like doing like a podcast or making like YouTube videos or vlogs, I feel like that would be kind of an escape, if anything. Yeah. Like, sure, people are looking at you and stuff, but if they're looking at you, that's only good. And it kind of alleviates some of the stress of like your internet persona and presence and stuff like that. And I don't know. I mean, it's very powerful for someone in Wisconsin to feel like they know you and they're so excited to sit down with you for like 6 hours, and you don't even know they exist. You've never even met this person, but you just being genuine over and over and over again on posts, and all you have to do is make it fun, which is not hard if you're having fun. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think it's cool and wise to take advantage of that and put it in your formula. That's what I want to get going on. I want to do some YouTube and stuff. Yeah. It's just it's hard figuring out what the fuck, I'm to the
Oh,
point
yeah.
where I'm thinking if I did make a YouTube, I don't know if I would even revolve it around tattooing specifically, just so I could be more open to other forms of entertainment. And it just so
Yeah.
happens that I'm a tattoo artist.
Right.
So we get to do and see some fun tattoo stuff every once in a while. And then I feel
Yeah.
like strategizing it that way makes tattooing kind of more interesting because the
Yeah.
audience
Yep.
changes. So it's
Yeah.
almost like, I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot before I actually make my move because I just don't want to look dorky, you know?
Right. Well, and
But
that's where we started is we're artists, and I mean a lot of our conversations do go back to tattooing and art and other little things. But it still always leads into other dumb conversations or other little arguments or little funny side notes, and that's what I think people like because I'm right there with you. But the other thing is, don't ever think you'll be goofy because you're gonna be goofy. You're gonna look weird.
yeah,
You're gonna like that's how it starts off. But you've got to. This isn't tattooing. We can fail here. We can we can make
yeah.
one bad movie or one bad video or one bad edit, and hey, it's okay. We can delete that. That can be deleted. But I took us, geez, a year, maybe longer, to actually start this podcast. You know, but if we would have started it when we first talked about it, we'd have a year under our belt. But now because we waited so long and I waited so long and was so afraid of should I not? Am I gonna look dumb? Am I gonna look goofy? Well, I did look dumb and I did look goofy, but we're 7 episodes in and we're on our 8th right now, and we're just gonna keep going. I think it's fun. But
Looks good though. I was looking at the page and stuff, and I was like, I should probably be like educated on what they got going on, and it's growing. Like, can't really ask for much more. I mean, I was looking at the numbers, look decent. So,
yeah.
And that's only on Instagram, which is a big problem of mine. I don't really like move out of Instagram, but I should. But like, yeah, this is on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, IG. So
Yeah,
doing
we
the
try
right
to be
thing.
everywhere.
Doing the right thing.
Oh yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely get into it sooner than later, whatever it is. And you'll figure the bumps out. You'll figure out what works and doesn't.
I have an idea, but for it to work, I would need like a list of interesting people that would be willing to let me tattoo them. And by interesting, I don't mean like Pony Lawson or some shit like that, but just people that can like what we're doing right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I have an idea. I just don't want anyone to steal it.
Yeah. No. You keep that so we'll talk later on.
Yeah.
On a sidebar about that. But yeah, no, yeah. But when what? Hold on, I'm sorry.
Dad.
Is that Tyler?
Yeah.
He fell downstairs or something.
Yeah. He's stuck in a well.
No.
He's in a trailer. What stairs did he fall down?
I think that was the joke, but I don't think
That's
he likes
dope,
us
man.
anymore.
I want to live in a trailer.
They're
I
fun.
do,
Can be
man.
cool.
The freedom.
Funny is he doesn't fucking live there.
Right, yeah.
It's fucking blizzarding out, and he still has to drive home tonight.
Hopefully he's out there warming the car at least.
Hey, Tyler.
So I'm driving to your mama's house.
What?
She lives in Oklahoma if you want to.
Oklahoma.
He's definitely gonna have to warm the car for that.
Did your power go out? What is happening?
I'm dropping everything.
You broke bitch. Pay the electricity bill.
You still homeless?
Are you still homeless?
Residentially challenged, bitch.
Oh, I forgot.
Residentially challenged.
I'm gonna start using that.
That's what we were
Tyler
saying
coined
last
that
week.
term last week.
Bro, I'm renting out a dining room right now.
Hey,
A
shoot.
dining room? Oh, you're a little bit resident.
But it's like it's separate from. It's a little more private than the living room, so it's like its own thing. It's like
Oh hell yeah.
they just rented it out. I need to put up like a tarp or something though.
Bitch,
But-
you're knocking shit off.
I really don't even spend much time in there.
Yeah.
Just a place to sleep for now. Tyler,
Fuck my mic.
what is happening?
I dropped my microphone. Oh, Tyler. Yeah, so this is a lot of what happens. So if you've watched the podcast, there's a lot of stuff that gets edited out.
Where was the clip, or where were you at in that clip of you? You're like in someone else's podcast, or did you like rent a booth and do this one day?
Oh, we did one at the Philadelphia Tattoo Convention.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's sick. What?
Very-
So like people just walked up to it, or
That's where our guy Scotty, he went out and grabbed people, and he was like, "Hey, you want to be on our podcast?" So people just ended up on the podcast.
that's dope.
That's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Lots of cool people. It was our first time doing it outside of like a controlled environment, so it was a little choppy. If you watch the entire video, it's the editing gets a little weird, but
Audio lag or like
yeah,
input
all the
delay.
above. It was a point where we didn't get the first 10 minutes at all, no sound at all.
It's
So it was rough.
in conventions because of all. I feel like everyone's equipment and all these different like signals in the air. I don't know. I don't know if I sound like a boomer, but I swear, dude, trying to airdrop in the convention
Oh, it's
takes
almost
like 10
impossible.
minutes.
Almost
Takes like
impossible.
10 minutes, and if you miss the question, it's like, oh, I gotta restart that shit.
Yep. Well, and there's been some where like we got lucky in San Diego. I don't know if it was good Wi-Fi or what they had, but San Diego was great. But there was one convention, was it New Orleans? I can't remember what state it was, but it was like I couldn't get nothing. I couldn't get airdrops to work. I couldn't text myself. Because what I would used to do is I would connect to my phone's Wi-Fi and then like text to myself on Messenger. So I'd send my stencil that way, so then I could just plug in my iPad to the computer or to the printer and print it out that way. That wasn't even working. I couldn't.
Damn.
It was a whole freaking. It took me an hour just to get a stencil made.
Yeah, I think I've freehanded a couple stuff.
Well, I was
Just
doing a
because-
portrait. I was like, I just need the face.
Oh, no.
And then it was already a stressful moment because I was an hour behind. I had another client coming after, and it was like I had him stacked. Like it was supposed to be the moment I was done, I was gonna start right on
Yeah.
her, but I was already an hour late, and it was I was so frustrated.
That sucks, man. Speaking of being late, that's like my biggest fucking problem. Like, it's awful, dude. It's awful. And I don't know what it is. Like, my mentor's known for being late to like everything, and I think it just rubbed off on me or I don't know, because even as an apprentice, like, I was fucking late to everything. So I was damn near late to this. So I get that feeling of the pressure of like your whole schedule just mathematically not making sense anymore, but you still have to like the show goes on. You know what I mean? Like, damn,
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
show goes on.
gotta keep it moving. Tyler, you good?
Yes.
Can I ask what happened?
A cat came and fucked everything up.
All right,
Yes,
fair. I get that.
yes. I can see that. Just probably stared you right in the eyes. It's just.
So let me ask you, because 2024, I want to make clothes. And this is something I've been wanting to do before I was tattooing. But like now I want to make clothes and shit. Is there any advice you give me before I like start this process?
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Low expectations.
Low expectation.
You go first, Nat. You go.
You have the absolute possibility of putting everything you have into one design. That design flops, but don't get rid of that design because that design can blow up months, years after you've released it.
Yeah.
Definitely don't, especially if you're just starting off, don't waste all your money on like the fanciest, highest quality shit. Of course, quality does matter, but like not, I don't know.
Room for
Like if
error.
you're starting with vinyl, don't go for the fucking $50 rolls of it. If you're starting with screen print, don't go with the craziest, most high-priced inks that you can find. If you're just starting out, get your test prints going. Make sure that you actually love something. Make sure it's actually doable. And then.
So, is it a bad idea because I commend you guys on like you guys hand make all your shit and stuff, and like have the machine, but would it be a bad idea if I was just making the designs and I found like a warehouse where they have the thing and shit like that? Like,
yeah, having somebody else make it for you.
Yeah.
No, it's not bad at all.
It's a great place to start.
Yeah, great place to start. It helps to have a few different avenues because technically when we first started, that's how I had did it. In 2017 when I had kind of got this together, I was using a local company that did screen printing. They made stickers, they did hats and embroidery. And I really did a lot of my stuff through them. But after a while, I could just tell that they didn't care as much of the product as I did. Like that was my shirt, that was my baby, that was my design. But because of that, they didn't put the same quality into it. So I had every time I'd buy, I'd go and spend, $300-400, which I really didn't have at the time, and half of the clothes would be crap. Like half of the stuff would be peeling off already. Like in my brand new folded, haven't even washed it once, horrible quality. And so after that had happened so many times, I had just gave up and said, you know what, I'll figure it out. Now it took me a few years from 2017 to when did we start printing that? I don't even know what year that was. 2019?
When did 2019's when we met, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, I consider that when we started. I mean, whenever we started printing t-shirts at Rod's, either way. But yeah, so it took a couple of years to finally get to that point, and get a machine and do all that stuff. So not at all is it a bad thing to go through other people and other print studios. You do pay a little bit more. You do lower your profit margin. And then you kind of do run into that quality, but find a good print shop. If there's a local shop you can go to and you can ask to see stuff they've done before, and you can kind of go in with and even just say, hey, if there's an issue, can I come here and will you guys help me out with that? Because I want to make sure quality is a big deal. If you kind of lead with that, it makes it easy to find a good place. There are some spots on the internet that do like drop shipping or what the heck? There's a name for it. But like you can print on a shirt and they'll just ship it to somebody. The reason I don't like those places, they give you a small parameter, and again, quality you have no idea. They're gonna print it in their warehouse, and then they're gonna ship it to the customer, and however it gets sent to them is how it's sent to them. It could be bad quality. It could be, you're just playing a gamble, and so I personally don't like those sites, but they are out there, and that is an option.
I accidentally walked up to the place I was thinking about going through. It's in downtown Orlando. It's called like Color Me or something like that. Maybe not. I don't know. It's like it's like a paint gallery.
Yeah.
And then right next to it is like this big, like I looked in, it was like this 2-story like printing shop. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I talked to the guy one day for like 20 minutes, smoked a blunt with him, and he told me what they could do.
Yeah.
My idea is I really want to I want to get a few shirts, hoodies, and I want to make ski masks.
Yeah.
Ski masks because they're really popular, and I want to do because my face tattoos are my logos, the moon, and then I have like the sparkle emoji.
Yeah.
And I want to put those on the masks, like sewn with like yellow. I want to make the first one black with the yellow face tattoos, and I want to sneak them in every order of like hoodies and like joggers and shit like that. And then eventually, if people like that, make like variants, but you could never get the black one unless you were like
you were first. Yeah.
So
that stuff is dope.
Making the black ones.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, and I keep forgetting you're not far from Orlando, and honestly, Orlando outside of freaking.
I'm in Orlando right now.
Oh hell yeah! They're freaking the mecca for like print little shops, like because all those little Disney shops that sell Disney shirts, they print their own shirts. They're not buying them from Disney. They're not going out and getting these. They're making them themselves. They're printing that, Donald Duck looking like freaking Darth Vader shirts in the back room of that freaking shop. So 90% of them will print for you at a small price, and they'll have the clothes, they'll have the blank already, they'll have the machines. Just talk to them for a good price. I think you're in a really good area to start that for really cheap. You're cutting out the middleman, you're cutting out shipping. You'll be able to fill the shirt before they've even printed on it. That's a good spot to be in to start. And then you can find out more if you want to dive deeper and you want to buy your own machine and take a bigger profit. You can do that. You can go that route. Or if it just works out with them, you just keep working with them, and then you just have to pick up your order when it's ready. It really gives you a good kind of feet in the water to try it.
Do you take inspiration from any like existing clothing brands when you make your own stuff?
Oh heck yeah, we do. Actually, Tyler, because Tyler got sluts and AKs. Do you want to answer that one? And then I've got some too, but I want to hear what you've got to say as well.
So mine's always just random, like how my Winnie the Pooh and Peeps and everything. So I'll just take that and add shit like that. But other than that, I don't even know.
So you kind of just do what you do, basically, like.
Yes.
Right? I feel like the answer matched, but I think for me, I take from a lot of different spots, a lot of different, not just like clothing brands. Like I like Adidas. Adidas is one of my favorite brands. I've got them tattooed on my body.
3 Stripe Mafia.
I love it. If they could sponsor me, I would still take that deal. But outside of them, I like kind of crazy hype styles. Like I like Bape. I like Nigo from Bape. He's got a cool little setup on how he does stuff. There's I've really been getting into this new company, Chrome Hearts. They're not a new company, but they're new to me. They do a bunch of like leather and like sterling silver stuff, really dope. Also, just I like Louis Vuitton. I like, but I also really like Janko jeans. I think those suckers are dope, and if they weren't so expensive, I would buy more of them. But I put together what I like, and I think that's kind of what Tyler does too, where he simplified it. Cause he you find that pop culture stuff, and you're into that style, and then you were able to see these two connections and put it together. So it's not necessarily like following one person or following one brand. It's following all the brands that you like, because like with Adidas, I love their shoes, but I really don't like their clothes. Like I really don't like Adidas. Like their socks, I think their socks and their shoes are
Bam.
probably the most, but
Oh,
I don't I again tattooed Adidas on me. I don't got joggers. I don't got Adidas sweats. I think I maybe have 2 or 3 Adidas shirts, but that's just because I bought them in high school. And yes, I still fit in what I wore in high school. And also I still have clothes that I wore in high school. I kept those. Um, but like for shirts and stuff, honestly, I just go with plain shirts, plain white tees, plain black tees, like nothing crazy. Um, so
I
it's just
like the flannels. They're sick, man.
yeah.
If it wasn't so hot that day, I would have been like, yeah. But I was just like, fuck it. But that flannel's so sick, dude.
Yeah, we've got them. I don't think we've had a lot more, or we haven't had many since then. I think that was one of our last times having them too. Maybe a few times after, but that was it.
I I like what you did with it, because when I tell people I want to make clothes, I think that they kind of assume it's gonna be like typical, like edgy stuff, like black craft type stuff, or like typical like deathcore band T-shirts, stuff like that. But I mean, that stuff is dope. I do want to make that stuff too, but I kind of want to make like casual wear stuff also.
Yeah.
Definitely, and put like a small, might have like a moon patch somewhere on like a dad hat or something.
Yeah.
Something I thought would be really cool is a dad hat with like my logo on the bill, because I don't see it utilize the bill a lot.
Yeah, not a lot of people do.
So I feel like that would be cool. Do something like that.
What and you've got to think too. My dad always calls it, you got to find your Nike swoosh, because that's all you need. Like that logo, that simplicity sometimes can just be what you need. Now other times, of course, you can go wild and you can go crazy and you can, really put into it. But sometimes it really is just finding that Nike swoosh. Like, just what's that one little thing they embroider on T-shirts, it's on hats, socks, everything. And when you can find that one logo or that one little symbol that works, that's what you just, you keep pushing that sucker, and sometimes less is more.
Yeah, I think I'm doing a good job with the moon and sparkles.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, when they see that, they think of me. Or I've had a few people from my like beginnings have me tattoo it on them and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And I always thought about this shit since I started. So like, I have like a Danny Moon like text logo of like my name with the moon in the middle and stuff, and I'll put that on some stuff. But I kept tattoos off of it on purpose, because I knew that I wanted to see that on other stuff one day.
Yeah.
And if I really, really can, because really, like, before tattooing and everything, I loved making comic books and shit. Like, I love comic books. Like,
hell yeah.
I would say I'm just as good at storyboarding and like world building as I am at art. It's just like growing up, those are the two things I always loved doing. And I want to one day get in a comfortable enough point where I can work on a comic book.
That'd be dope.
That'd be cool. And then like have like a Danny Moon comic book, you know what I mean? Sneak the new volume in like a hoodie or something. Like kind of do what Disney did or Marvel did. You know what I mean? Like have all these separate entities and then just start playing with them and connecting them and shit.
Yeah. They're it's called an umbrella corp. You're one name, but you got all these things connected that under you.
Yeah, so I guess that's my dream. I'm actually more passionate about that reality than I am tattooing alone.
Yeah.
Like, I was just blessed and lucky enough to find this thing that will never leave me and is like a connection. And it gives me the opportunity to make all these other things that I wanted to. You know what I mean? I wanted to do.
Yeah. What, and you know what? I think a lot of tattoo artists kind of miss that. Is like we're so free and we're in such a cool scenario and it's such a cool job that we can make money. And instead of like, I know dissing any of these artists that got all the chains and the jewelry and like craziness, like that's awesome, that's cool, I love it, I'm all about it, you know, I love being flossy. But if you're able to make that money, why not start another business? Why not put into something else? Because our tattooing can only go so long. Our hands can only work for so long.
Arthritis is coming.
It don't matter if you made 100K last year. If you break your hand, so who cares? There's no benefit. There was no severance that you get. There's no layoff check. There's no unemployment you could get. You're done for. That's it. You got to start all over again from day one.
That's why I don't skateboard anymore.
Yeah,
not worth it, man.
It's not. I mean, some of these things just aren't as cool as they used to be. The risk is not as big as the reward anymore, or the reward is not as big as the risk anymore. So. But I just see a lot of guys falling into that, just blowing all their money on all this big stuff, being really good tattoo artists, getting really nice houses, really nice cars, and then struggling every month because that they spend just to their cap, but they don't invest it, they don't put into it. But on the flip, I have met other artists that have, they tattoo. They do they're authors. On top of that, they're into like real estate, and then they're also into Bitcoin, into other stuff, and they're building more. So if they don't have to tattoo, right? They tattoo because they love it. They tattoo for the fun of it, and yes, they're still making really good money from it, but they're not stressing about it. If they don't want to go in that day, they really don't have to go in that day. But it's just putting into those other not only just like with crypto or real estate, but like another business that makes you happy. Like I really like food. My goal at some point when everything relaxes down, I want to open up a little food truck or a little restaurant.
That's what me and my brother want to do.
I think that's my retirement right there. When I'm done tattooing and I can't print no more T-shirts, I just want to be a grumpy old man with my little Mexican restaurant.
That'd be dope.
And that's it. That's where I want to spend it, wherever it is, whatever happens. But I can't do that if I don't tattoo my ass off now and put that money towards my business. And then not only just clothing, 3-Eyed is we're gonna just like you were saying, we want to be everywhere. I want to be a household name, so I need to do those stepping blocks in order for me to drink a beer in my Mexican restaurant when I'm old. Like all of that starts today just so I can have that end goal. But I'm not going to get there if I'm just out there freaking, like I really want a diamond just iced out teeth. Like I want a grill so freaking God blessedly bad. Like, but just because I have the money and sometimes I make the money to go and get it doesn't mean that's all I'm going to do. Because we got to pay for the business. We got to pay for the next trip. We got to pay for the next prototype. And that's a cooler feeling than getting that grill. When you get that new shoe prototype in hand, it's like, oh yeah, this is worth it.
Yeah, they look sick though.
Yeah, thank you.
Look sick, dude.
Yeah, we're working on a few shoes. We should have a few different ones coming out here real soon for summer. We're gonna have a bunch of different colorways and a few different styles too. So everybody got to be looking out for that. But you've got a good head on your shoulder. You got a good idea of what you want. You know, I just can't wait to see what you put together and you know how you can change this crazy world of ours. Because I think you could do it. I think we all come together, we all make some dope ass stuff, and we could take over these conventions, man. We'll have like freaking 2-3 rows of just
That would
cool
be
people
dope.
selling cool stuff.
That would be dope, dude.
Yeah.
I like that. My dream, honestly, is pretty simple. I want to be able to just buy my mom a house,
Hell yeah.
and I want to be able to be cozy and drink coffee every day. That's it, man.
Hey,
That's all I care about. As
I
long
love
as I
it.
can get
I
to
love
that
it.
point.
Yeah.
If it means I gotta blow up or whatever, I'll try my best to figure it out. But for me, it's not about the fame. It's
Yeah.
just about what opportunities and it's also the world we live in now, right? Like when someone judges you, do they look at your portfolio or do they look at how many followers you have and how many people you know and shit like that, which is dumb.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the old conversation about arguing about if it's dumb or not. Now it's like, okay, well, we know it's dumb, but what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is my answer to that is play the game as well as possible. And hopefully, you know, I get to my goal. And if not, my, in my endurance and accomplishments trying to achieve that goal unlocks other avenues I didn't know about that I'm also okay with.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
that's all I can really hope for.
Yeah. No, I love it. Well, it's as the old saying goes, you know, money attracts money. Positivity attracts positivity. You know, you just gotta keep in that focus, and it'll all come to you. You know, put your head down, be happy, and one day you'll pick your head up, and you're gonna be right where you want to be, and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
But that's too where you gotta have fun with it. You know, can't be too. Yes, tattooing is serious. Tattooing is freaking permanent on people, but don't freaking kill yourself over it. It's not as serious as
It's
a
easy to
lot of people
fall.
really put
It's
out
easy to
there.
fall victim to tattooing is just so interesting. It's hard to explain to someone who's not in the world, like
Yeah.
certain rules and codes we live by. And my buddy's like, who cares? But since you're part of that culture, you have this pressure of like, it's like doing something behind the back of the Jedi Order or something. Whenever you like start thinking a little too much, you know what I mean? And you're like, well, what if I? And then it's like you're gonna be hit so fast with tradition that makes evolving hard, I guess. And it's scary, but I think I'm starting to like after 2 years of tattooing, it's like being a 2-year-old. I think I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I just got hit with my consciousness and like awareness, and I'm like, wait a minute, the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? So like, obviously, it's dangerous to stray too far away from tradition because there's certain pillars there to hold down the whole foundation, but with the right mind and the right hands, there's things you can do to definitely evolve. And I still don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just know that that's a possibility. Now I know it's possible. I don't know how to do it. I don't know, you know, but now, before I didn't know if it existed or if it was even possible. Now I know enough. I've seen enough firsthand that it's like, okay, let's get this shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, it's always that I always live off of I've got to at least try. you know, because if it doesn't work, hey, it's all good. But what if it does work? You know, what if it goes right?
And even
You
if
know,
it doesn't work, like going back to how I said, like, or it can open up other avenues and
yeah,
stuff. Like, even if it doesn't work, you would have pushed yourself so much harder and found your true self and would have been more in tune with your abilities and your like cap than if you just kind of brushed the idea off. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like
yep,
even if it didn't work or play out the way you thought, you would still be so much better than if you never tried. And then maybe you didn't make it here, but the you are now can see life at a different height or
yeah,
angle. And so
yep,
now you can see more doors than before when you were down here because you learned so much in your journey.
yeah,
So fuck, man. You know, it's like the best thing to do, I guess, is just keep fucking doing it
yeah,
every day.
yeah. Well, that's why I say don't take it too serious. You just, you know, and that's just with life too. Like I get life is serious. Like there's so many things that, but at the end of the day, like it's gonna keep happening. Like you could sit there and cry and whine and piss and moan about it, but tomorrow's still gonna come. You know, everybody else is still doing what they need to. So, like, yeah, be in your pity party because you're valid to be in your feelings, but don't stay there. Like, you got to keep going forward. You got to keep moving. Because I think the worst thing is regret. You know, regret not knowing what would have happened or what could have happened, or you know, what if I would have put that time into it, or what if I would have made that T-shirt, you know, and then you kill yourself with what ifs. And I think that's a worse feeling than, man, it didn't work out this time. I lost some money, but I learned from it, you know, because then you can still move that building block and know that,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm going to put this piece over here this time instead of, you know, that. But you can't comatose yourself just because you're afraid of what's new or if it's not going to happen. Like, life's a 50-50 chance. We don't know if we're going to wake up tomorrow or not. God forbid, knock on wood, we all do, but we don't have, we don't know, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, so, you know, you got to do everything you can right now and be happy with your decisions, no matter what they are, good or bad, you know? But
Yeah, I'm very big on like being a Jim Carrey yes man to shit.
yeah, you got
Cause
to
I
try new
mean,
stuff.
like I wasn't in Colorado for long, but if I never went, I wouldn't have met the person I'm about to have a baby with, which we're still together and everything. That's crazy. That's its own
Yeah,
fucking crazy thing.
yeah,
But
that's awesome. Okay.
yeah, due March 31st actually.
Nice.
But
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. It was crazy. So by the way, I did that convention with a pregnant girlfriend.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember you
So
He
saying
for
she
was
was
those of you
there.
pregnant.
who
I was
don't
wondering
know,
how far along she was.
that was crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah. That
That
was
was
that was
rough.
the time.
But and then I wouldn't have gone to that convention. I wouldn't be here, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
And I wouldn't have met Segoy, my friends in San Diego, and you know, I saw a lot of truths in 2023 that just completely recalibrated my whole fucking idea of the industry as a whole.
yeah.
So now I'm back in Orlando, and I don't know. I'm probably gonna say yes to another crazy experience that I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna play out. But the fun thing about living life like that is you just kind of get better at jumping right in the middle of messes and coming out a winner because that just becomes your natural habitat. So, and it's
Yeah.
addicting. It's really addicting. Like, um, all I
Yeah.
want to do, like, I want to do more conventions, more guest spots, more being in new territory and talking to people and seeing how they tattoo and what
Yeah.
needles they use, what stencil stuff they use, you know. Like the Sanaterm thing, that's crazy. That guy like putting Sanaterm on as he's tattooing still and taking it off for the white.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that, man?
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's just it. Like kind of like you were saying earlier, is it's try not to stray too far from tradition, but we still can't be stuck in the Stone Ages. There's new stuff happening,
There's
and what
definitely
we couldn't do 10 years ago, we can do today, and we can run circles around it. So,
there's definitely like a danger to it. Yeah, man. I don't know if it's my nerdy ass, but dude, it's like the Jedi Order, man. But at the end of the day, they had the gray Jedi that believed in the good and the bad. And then it's like you realize it's like your apprenticeship and your beginning is like being in the Jedi Order and like following all the rules and being really good at following all the rules, and your American traditional is on point, your whip shading's on point, you can saturate yellow like a motherfucker, and then you're like at that point, for a good like me, I've been drawing my whole life. So when I was at that point, I was still like, I want to tattoo as good as I can draw. You know what I mean? But to do that, you have to break rules.
Feeling. Yeah,
you got to break rules, because if you're hard lining everything and saturating everything and whip shading, your tattoo's not going to look like you're drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you try to just say fuck it and wing it without learning the traditional rules, your grays are going to fall out, or you're not going to realize that you're missing a lot of black. And it's like, it's almost like eventually you can go be a gray Jedi and free yourself of tradition, but having the knowledge and understanding its importance in mind. And then you can fucking evolve and do other shit like that. Or you can give up on the traditional way and say, fuck it, I'm not going to listen to anyone, and you just stay like in your living room and you're like a Sith now.
Yeah.
Because you're just like fucking people up.
Yeah. Some of these guys, I that's the one thing I hate about like TikTok and stuff, is some of these guys get wild. Like I don't know if you've seen like the guys who will like hang the tattoo machines from a string and then like run it across some dude's back, or like there's two dudes that are skateboarding and one guy's has the tattoo machine while they're skating and he's trying to tattoo on his back. Like that's just straight nutso stuff. Yeah, that's what I think of when you say Sith. So I don't know if it's that extreme, but that's how I feel it is.
For the record, I feel like it would take a really long time, but I think I could do a palm-sized tattoo skateboarding. I think I could. Because I would probably just rip one line as I was going down the half pipe or whatever. I'd be like, it'd probably take me like 4 hours to do like a Snoopy or something. But I would make sure as fight that it would come out good.
That's awesome.
But I skateboarded for a long time.
Yeah, I've got no balance or coordination at all.
Now I don't. Now I don't at all. I've gone into a couple cops slam my head into a wall, and after that, I notice I'm a little like
We've actually got skateboards coming soon.
Skateboards, oh hell yeah!
Yeah, we got skateboards. Those are gonna be fun. Can't wait for those. Yeah, no, we're gonna do some fun stuff. I will try not to get on a skateboard because I feel like I will fall and hurt myself if I do, but I'm gonna try my darndest.
I cannot. I roller skate, but I grew up in skate parks.
I'm just not willing to risk it. I'm not risking it for the biscuit. I'm already living in a dining room. I mean, if I break my hand,
great, yeah,
be rough, man.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it.
I'll be in Disney Springs, charging $10 for a character portrait.
Doing little character drawings.
I broke my hand.
That's awesome. Yeah, Yeah, we just gotta protect ourselves, you know. We just gotta watch our hands. We're not as young as we used to be. Well, definitely not me. I am not as young as I used to be.
I mean, I turned 26 this year. People say I'm still young, but if I were to jump off like a 5-foot fence, I would be like definitely stunned for a second. Which is 5-foot fence. I'm taller than that. But when I was like 10, I'd be able to jump off like bobcats and shit.
Oh, I barely want to like lift stuff that I know I could walk over. Like I don't want to lift my leg up. Like I can't just walk through it. I'm not going that way. They really don't want me in there.
Cardboard box in the hallway. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like in Pokemon. There's just that little tree that stops everybody.
Yeah.
Just be able to walk around it, but no one does.
Snorlax sleeping here.
Yeah, done. No. Yeah, and like I said, I've got such bad coordination. I've hurt myself on accident. Just trying to walk. It's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time he tried parkour, he lost a couple brain cells, so.
I can't do it. I see guys like climbing, like that dude that climbed. He was like, I think it was New York. He was climbing outside of
Oh,
the
those are psychotic. I keep watching those guys like at night if I can't sleep. I put that guy on, and they're just crazy.
That guy could be a tattoo artist. That guy doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. I want to see him try to tattoo on the side of a building.
That would be cool. That would be crazy.
People are nuts. Yeah, I couldn't do all that. Like I think climbing walls and like rock climbing is cool and all.
I'm terrified of heights.
I couldn't.
Fuck that.
I'm afraid like the line's gonna break or like the rope's gonna snap off. Like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
People say it doesn't happen, but spend a few hours on Reddit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You're gonna
100%.
see some shit that you didn't think was possible. Like, I've lived in Orlando all my life. I've never been on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I'm the dude that's sitting down there holding everyone's like purses and cameras and shit.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah,
eating Pop-Tart or popcorn. I mean,
Pop-Tarts. Yeah, sounds like my kind of party.
Pop-Tart. But no, yeah, I don't fuck with that at all. My logic is, you know, it's pretty. I have simple logic that I feel like keeps me alive.
Yeah.
If I'm in the water, I'm the slowest moving thing, so I'm not going to go into deep waters.
Nope.
And when I jump, I fall back down. So that means my body wants to stay on the ground. So
yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be.
So I'm good with just that, man.
The tattoo shop that we go to out there in Orlando is by Old Town. I don't know if you know where that's at.
Old Town.
They've got like a Ferris wheel and little. Anyways.
Was it near Longmont?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. No. Probably.
It's by the Gaylord Hotel. I do know that.
Yes, it's by the Gaylord.
Gaylord?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's down there.
I'm not in that hotel.
I don't know. I just remember what it was called.
Yeah. It's like the biggest hotel I've ever seen. It's huge.
I know. It's like a little castle. It's fucking wild.
It's insane. But anyway, so the tattoo shop faces their little amusement park. So it's got like a big old slingshot and like
that's dope.
Bunch of stuff. But like all the time there are guys that will tell us the stories of like how many times the ride got stuck or how many times
you can hear people's screams from the shop. Like they're not like right next door to each other. You can hear people screaming a good half a mile away.
That would make me feel better if I was about to get tattooed. It's like, well, at least I'm not 100 feet up in the air.
At least I'm not those guys.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. I used to when I was younger. I would do it. I would get on all the, all the rides I could. I'd go to all the fairs that were in the middle of a parking lot that had no licensing to freaking be there. I'd do it all. Now, I won't get in a car with a stranger.
I was
I
already
won't get in an Uber.
terrified.
You scare me.
Now, I mean, there's videos about like that 14-year-old that
Yeah.
I think it was here in Orlando.
Yeah.
14-year-old just fell right off it. And in the video, he sounds like a bag of grapes hitting the ground. It's just like
Solid.
Yeah.
I was
gonna say-
already like a hard no on that, and now I see shit like that, and they put it on
Yeah.
the news. It's like,
I was gonna say I still love roller coasters and all that stuff, but someone likes to send me those videos, so it scares the shit out of me.
I'm good on all that.
Nope. They look cool. I like it.
So
But I
it
ain't
better
getting on
be
it.
a good enough roller coaster that I'm like, if this is how I die, this is fine.
Yeah,
I ain't dying on no bunk ass roller coaster.
for real. Shoot, just going to Walmart scares me.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to
Should
get
in
me to go
Colorado.
on a road,
Those get
yeah.
brought up regularly.
It's a
Colorado's like a big part of the human trafficking ring, right?
Mhm.
I-25
up at-
goes
They
straight
like to
down to
pick 'em up at
Mexico.
Targets.
Because that's what they're aiming for.
I feel like someone would have to be really down bad to human traffic me. They'd be like,
Right, yeah.
I'd be like, man,
You gotta really owe a lot of money.
I'll take what I can get, man.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. It's like I don't have good kidneys. I don't have a high sex drive. Good luck. Like,
Tyler's out at these supermarkets trying to get trafficked.
Hey man, anything you can do for that signature of your favorite actor or whatever. End up on Jeffrey Epstein Island. You know. Dude, there's a lot of people on that list, man. At this point I'm like,
yeah, we knew that.
it
Like, you're not.
list, or is it people that were there?
I think it's just the fly log list. So it's the airport's log of who flew on and off his island. That's it. They don't have what they did, where they went. They just know that they visited his island at one point.
That's
That's it.
crazy.
Yeah. I still think the craziest part is that the island was wheelchair accessible. I mean,
Well, I
Stephen
mean,
Hawking got
Stephen
around there
Hawking-
easily.
Yeah. And
Everybody
also,
lifting
I
there.
feel like it would be one of those things where, like, even if it wasn't a bad place, he would have to do that, right? For, like, regulations.
Yeah,
Not trying
well,
to.
you're gonna have to.
Stephen Hawking cop out, but.
Well, it used to be Disney Cruise Line used to stop there. So, I mean, I guess if
Really?
you have Disney Cruise Line, you're gonna have to be wheelchair accessible.
Yeah.
Disney and the wheelchairs.
I wonder how it was like, because I feel like there was like a cool kids club and then like the cool kids club. So not everyone was, like, you know what I mean? You had like Will Smith playing pool upstairs and then Stephen Hawking was downstairs flirting with the kids. Like,
Oh, was he
I don't know.
downstairs because they didn't have an elevator, huh?
Yeah.
The cool clips isn't wheelchair accessible.
Only the entrance.
Only that. That's funny.
I saw a meme
You had
that
to
was
make it
like-
past all the kids to get to like the party area.
Right. He rolled over all of them.
Iggy.
It's crazy though.
It is.
I
I
don't
still
know.
can't. I can't believe how many people were even on the list, or how many. Yeah,
I kind of
nuts.
had an idea. Like, I remember being a kid just thinking, like, so people just go missing?
Right?
Like,
Yeah,
a
I
lot,
just.
like a lot of people
They're just gone?
coincidentally in this route. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane how many people go missing just every year. And not just in like national parks. Like I get Like some people figure, oh my god, how do you go missing in a national park? Well, it's a national. It's not hard. Yeah, I could get lost in 2 miles of woods here in my backyard, and you probably wouldn't find me. So I get that, but that's just too much. I lost my train of thought, so I forgot where I was going with that.
I saw
anyways.
a meme.
I want to go missing for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, I just want to be gone.
Like
I will say, when I was hitchhiking, there was a point I got stuck in Twin Falls, Idaho, in a snowstorm. I was like under a bridge, and it was like bad snow. And I walked into a Walmart, and it was weird. It was like as soon as I walked in, he handed me, like the dude that checked your bags or whatever. And it was weird because I had literally just walked in there. He didn't have time to write it or anything, and he just knew I was homeless. I mean, it wasn't hard to tell, but he just handed me it, and it had like 5 numbers of shelters, like safety shelters, and I randomly just called the first number, and they were like a Christian rehab center. And I just told them that I was drinking a lot. And I was in there, and they had like a blackout period because it was rehab. So I like couldn't use Facebook or anything, my phone, for like the first month. And I was there for like a month and a week, just learning about the Bible around people I didn't know. Eating great, though. Eating great. Working in a farm. And I put on some weight, was showering regularly, but eventually it was just like, all right, I gotta go. Like, I'm still trying to make it to Colorado.
Yeah, he's like, I still have a destination.
Yeah, it was nice. I needed it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But when I got back out and I checked my Facebook, people thought I was like dead. Because I disappeared for like a month and a week.
Dang.
5 weeks, and yeah, people thought I was dead.
Dang. Yeah, that's a decent amount of time. That's
just went to rehab for funsies.
Yeah, just who would have known? Just getting out of the snow would take you away for 5 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I was willing to do whatever.
Hey, it worked. That's
the 2 guys I ended up meeting in Oregon. We didn't get to Colorado altogether.
Like, oh damn. Okay.
Yeah, some really bad shit happened in Idaho, and one dude we were with, and he was like our leader basically. He was the oldest. I was 17, turning 18. Like at this point, on the verge of turning 18. We had this guy Oliver who was 23. And he was always a little weird mentally. Like, he just would respond weird or be really quiet.
Most Olivers I know do.
He was really good at stealing, though. Like, whenever we had beer or, like, hot dogs, he just somehow stuffed it in his shit. And we always picked, like, big locations, like Walmart, Targets, stuff like that. We never fucked with, like, smaller stores, but
yeah.
Eventually, Frankie, he was like 25 already. I ended up, he overdosed on like heroin or some shit. I didn't know at the time.
Oh damn.
But I did end up fucking seeing him. Not to make it like dark and shit. But
no,
I did
we've all
end up
been there,
seeing
man.
him. And I didn't know where Oliver was. And I ended up I kept going, honestly. So when I was in Twin Falls has to be, this was the same day. So Twin Falls has to be like not that far from, what's the capital of Idaho? I'm blanking here. But the city he died in. Idaho. Fuck. Boise. Yeah, he died in Boise. And then I kept going. I never met up with Oliver. I didn't really have like a phone with service. And so when I was in Twin Falls, I just said, fuck it, I like gave up basically. But that month to rejuvenate and shit like that really fucking was good for me. But yeah, my mom was like freaking out. Like, I thought you were dead. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, easy. That's nuts.
But yeah, so that's what I mean by like I went through that shit, and then I was like just cooking in restaurants and being a boyfriend, and I was just like, I already saw. I felt like I already saw what life was really about, and I put back in my cage. You know, it's like if your hamster escaped for like a year and you found it and put it back in its cage. It's just like,
yeah. Went out and saw the world, saw the real world.
Yeah. So,
that's crazy.
Would I hitchhike again? Fuck no. Definitely no.
Nah.
Definitely no.
Dang. Was that the one time you hitchhiked, or have you done it before?
That was the one time. I mean, it was a spree. It was like over and over and over.
Yeah. To like, get but just that was
that one.
Dang, journey. That's crazy.
But it was crazy. It was really crazy because I started off, short, bleached emo hair, and then at the end of it, I had like, it was like as long as it is now.
Yeah.
But it was like dreaded together. Like my mom has pictures of me coming back from the Greyhound station because eventually I didn't stay. Like eventually I went back to Florida before I went back to Colorado.
Okay, yeah.
On my feet. But she has photos of me like coming out of the Greyhound, like super, super skinny. My hair's like tied up and shit, like or dreaded up like naturally.
Dang.
Because of the sweat, I guess, or never brushing it. I don't know. But yeah, in the rehab, they called me Green Day.
Green Day?
Yeah, because my hair was all like spiky and dreaded, but it was like white dude dreads. And I would wear a bandana to keep the sweat or like my greasy hair off my face, and which at the time I didn't need because I was always clean, but I kept it because I was used to wearing it.
Yeah.
It would make my hair spikier than
just fresh out.
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
That is too cool. Well, cool now to tell the story. I bet at the time that was insane.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, and again, how old were you at that time?
I was 17.
17, dang.
Yeah, I remember. Or no, I think I was already 18 when that happened. So it was.
Wow. That's still young though. That's
my birthday. Like I remember my birthday, my 18th birthday. I was standing in front of a 7-Eleven, and I was checking the time. And once it became midnight, I went inside, bought a pack of cigarettes legally, which by the way was like, because I was already hooked on cigarettes, but I was like, take them out of like ashtrays and shit.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like fuck. But no, I like sang happy birthday to myself, and I was just sitting in front of a 7-Eleven smoking a cigarette.
Damn.
Yeah, that was my 18th birthday. So.
Damn.
But if it wasn't for all that, I don't think I would be nearly as attentive to my progress as I am now, and as like serious about it.
Yeah.
So I would do it all over again. Not now, but if I went back in time and knew to be who I am now, I have to kind of go through that. I would.
Yeah.
Do it,
Wow.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Well, those are the blocks that made you you. I love it. I freaking love it. That's crazy. That's nuts. Where'd Tyler go?
Man. I'm here.
Oh, there he is. I was gonna say he's just be disappearing on us.
Are you looking outside?
Yes.
How bad does it look?
It's bad.
It's bad.
And where are you right now?
Or he's in Denver with us, but
Oh, okay.
it's fucking snowing hard. Not
Yeah,
hard,
it is.
but like
It's coming down.
it's powdery and icy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Really
miss
icy.
waking up late, but knowing if I drive fast enough, I can make it. And then I go outside and my car is just frozen.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope.
And it's just like,
That's
all
not
right, checkmate.
Right? Yeah, you
This
got
is a
me.
reschedule.
Yeah, better like next time.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
I was staying up in Loveland in the mountains, like by Carter Lake.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So that's why it was so fucking hard to find a shop to work at. Cause
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eesh. No
Yeah, it was
fun.
rough.
Dang. We are pretty close to the 2-hour mark.
We had 2 hours.
Yeah, it goes by faster than you think. Like you don't realize we've been talking for so long. But I think we'll probably cut it here soon, just so Tyler can get on his way home. I don't want him slipping and sliding.
Yeah, I need to warm up that car.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I guess I have to go play pool.
Oh darn.
Right? I gotta go
It's
figure
good
out.
for business. I always, whenever I do that, I walk around with some business cards. And actually, I want to show you something real quick before we.
Yeah, heck yeah.
This is crazy. So, since I've been back in Orlando, you know, I'm from like the hood. So what I like to do is I walk. If you guys have you guys been to downtown Orlando?
Not really.
No.
Well, it's pretty similar to San Diego. Like we have Orange Avenue, and it's just a strip, and it gets blocked off by cops, and you can just walk on the road and shit. And there's a bunch of bars and clubs and nightclubs and shit. And
Nice.
my brother does pedicabbing, so he rents the bike out for like a week. So when he's not doing it, I'll just ride around in the back and I'll just be handing people cards and shit.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
went to a couple people that said, "Do you know JP, the anime guy? He's got like white hair. He wears like a snapback. Does a lot of like Pokemon and shit."
I do, yeah.
He's based off Orlando, and people kept saying, "Oh, your card looks like someone's card," and I'm like, and this is my card, by the way.
Yeah. Yep.
And
that's dope.
and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then I'm a fan of JP, and one day a bartender was like, "Oh, looks like my boys." Pulled out a JP card, and I was like, "Oh, maybe that's what people were saying." And one day, I show up to work, and this is sitting on my station.
Oh, dang.
He was there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It sucks, man. That day, I was riding a bike like 2 hours. And come to find out, I have a bad knee. Which I know. Yeah, I have a pretty bad knee. Like if I ride the bike for like 10 minutes, it feels like someone slammed me with like some metal on my knee. I don't know.
Eesh.
My mom said it's arthritis on the knees.
Oh,
She
dang.
got it. But it took me like 2 hours to get there. I was late and I missed him. But I'm going to run into him eventually, I feel like.
Yeah.
Be interesting. They had the Sad Fam shop, and I guess something happened, but like all the artists left.
Oh,
It
damn.
was like an anime only shop in Orlando. So if he ever wants to make his own shop, you know, I'll be in there cooking up anime if he wants me to. Fuck.
That'd be dope. That'd be really dope.
Orlando's a really good spot.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
For that.
Bless you.
It's part of what I learned. moving to Colorado, I think I underestimated where I live. Honestly, it's like a melting pot of just so much shit. Orlando's pretty badass.
Yeah, I always love going out there. One of my favorite spots. I mean, it's a cool area. People are cool. Clientele's great. Money's great. I mean, the nightlife is awesome. The weather's like you can't beat it. I love Orlando. It's a nice.
I'm outside right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a mini.
Nice.
My like dining room area is honestly not that bad. Like there's a hallway, so there's never like anyone else like actively in my space.
Yeah.
Like I got this little boxed in, closed in like patio.
Oh hell yeah.
So yeah, but I'm like right outside. I can see the stars right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat that. I love it. I mean, there's just something about being outside in Orlando at midnight, smoking a doobie with a beer, and just
and you didn't have to put on 3 jackets and a coat and your boots just to spend 15 minutes smoking a joint. I could just walk outside shirtless.
Oh yeah, I used to love it. Oh, I guess not used to. We're going back out at some point, but it's freaking amazing. The only other place that beats that is Hawaii. That's the only other one.
I want to go, man.
Freaking love being out in Hawaii.
Yeah. For the history too. You know about the Black Panther story? The Black Panther tattoo? Like how it's all so popular? Well, Ed Hardy was partying with this guy in Hawaii, and I think it was someone else that worked in the shop or was accompanying Ed Hardy was going through antique store, and he found this book. It's called Minute Myths and Legends by I can't remember the author, the person that made the book, but the book's Minute Myths and Legends, and there's a page on it that's got the Black Panther.
Oh dang!
And then it's got like some script in the middle, and someone ripped up the Black Panther off that page, identical, bro. Like,
dang.
And this is a long time ago. You know, this is like young Ed Hardy, and he brings it all the way back to the party. He buys it, brings it all the way back, and they're all like coked out, like partying, and he's like, "Dude, the Black Panther!" And they're all like, "Oh my god!" And they found the origin of the Black Panther. So whoever did it first, whoever the fuck that dead guy is, he took it off some random book, which is cool.
Yeah.
I would love to spend some time in Hawaii just because of like the history of that type of shit. And fucking Hawaii.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One. It's got so much history. So cool. I love that place. I'm still trying to convince my wife to let us move there. Like that's my end goal.
Do you guys have any conventions planned in the works? Because you guys are in Colorado right now, but I know that doesn't last long.
This year we're kind of chilling out a little more. We don't have any set in the book conventions. We are doing Denver Sneaker Con, but that's not a tattoo convention.
That's cool though.
But that's next month. We might do Denver Villain Arts, but like I said, nothing's complete set in stone yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still trying to figure it out. We don't know what we're doing. Last year we went really, really, really hard, like really hard.
Yeah, really hard.
So we're pulling back a little bit.
You were like next to some famous tattooer, like, look who I just saw. I'm like, damn, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
it's like so much fun.
Yeah, we got around. It was cool, but it got expensive and it got tiring, especially on my body.
Yeah.
So this year we may do a little bit less. But we'll still be out there. We'll still, we're still gonna hit a few shows. We may do more things near the end of the year, but I'll keep you updated. You'll know where we'll be at.
That'll be cool. I know for sure I want to do some local stuff.
Yeah.
For sure. And I'll probably just do the same thing I did in San Diego. Just bring out all my anime shit. Pick one point. Because, like, I'm not going to compete with some of the dudes out there in black and gray and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm going to pick my strongest point and just... Yeah. I feel like that worked out good for me.
Oh yeah. No, that's the way to do it. Shoot, I like it, but I'm getting tired, and I know Tyler's got to get out of here. But with that, I really appreciate you, Danny. It was awesome having you on today.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We'll definitely get you on again. We'll definitely. I wish some of the other guys would have gotten on too, because that would have been some nice, stuff. But I'll yell at them later. But we'll get you on again when we get everybody else. Have some more fun. But I really appreciate you taking some time out and hanging out with us today. Wasn't that too crazy, but lots of great content.
Yeah, man. Actually, I believe in this kind of shit, and I'm gonna support it all the way. I think it's dope. I think it's fun. It's dope, and I was excited to be on here. So I'm excited to see what it turns into, and it inspires me and makes me more excited about my own things. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love
Thanks for having me.
Of course, always. Real quick, Nat, do you have any last words?
No.
Tyler, you got anything you want to leave with?
I don't think so.
Danny, got anything you want to leave with?
If you like color tattoos in Orlando, hit me up, man.
Hit him up. Yes, as everybody knows, these are our Instagram handles. This is how to get a hold of everybody. Please follow everyone that's here. Give Danny a follow. Give him a shout out. Give him a what are they called? Retweets or whatever. But this is talking about that. We appreciate everybody that's been watching. We'll catch you guys next week. That's the intro, whatever thingy. But yeah, appreciate having you, Danny. I'll reach out to you again, and we'll do it again. We'll have some fun.
Yeah, I'm excited, bro. Whenever you want me on here.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be reaching out to you soon, and then I'll send you some videos too as I get them edited and nice stuff.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh yeah. All right, everybody. I am out of here. Tyler, please get home safe. Text me when you get there. Right. I know you're not too far from home, but it's still slick. I actually I looked out, and it's worse than when I first looked. So yeah, just please be safe. Nat, figure out what's going on with that dog. Like
seriously,
her wheezing is getting worse.
Just put it down.
We need to make her into a little cartoon. She needs her own merch.
Old Beller.
I was thinking about when I wear the ski masks, I was just gonna take a photo of me like this, wearing the ski mask, and I was just gonna crop that out and just slap it on it.
There you go.
That'd be awesome.
Or like prints, like I saw like custom Hawaiian dad shirts.
Right.
They had like their.
Tyler,
if you need anything, you can come to my house or you can call me.
Okay.
I know you're not far from me.
I don't want to see that thing.
I just like to argue. I don't care if the world's flat, round, circular, square.
Tyler fucking bullies me.
I learned how to tattoo. You couldn't go in a tattoo shop. The windows were blacked out.
We talked about that.